We good to go? Devin Cuddy. How you doing, man?
Doing very well, buddy. Thanks for having us.
Man, thanks for coming, Bunker. This
Pleasure.
is like, we were talking a couple weeks ago at the Cameron House, and now we're here,
Now we're here.
which is amazing.
Execution, man.
That's it. And I will point out that 10 years ago, I opened up for you at the Mustache Club, according to Facebook.
On this day, right?
On this day.
That is crazy.
Yeah, you look the same, and
Oh,
I
thank
don't.
God.
A little bit. Do the stereotypical questions, man. How'd you get started? What got you into music?
Well, I kind of started pursuing music as a young teenager. I was playing trumpet in the band, doing that kind of symphonic band, a very brief stint in the marching band. And then I started listening to jazz. And we were taking piano lessons, my siblings and I, throughout. So I started listening to jazz and taking lessons and getting more and more interested. And I ended up at York University for jazz performance. And towards the end of that, I met a guy named Cosmo Ferraro who runs the Cameron House. And I started playing. And then, immediately, I don't think when I was learning music, I thought performance necessarily was going to be the thing. But once I started, I knew that it was.
Yeah.
And I started solo and then got a band. And obviously, my family's in music, my dad.
Yep.
So it's always been around me. And I guess it eventually felt like a pretty natural transition.
Yeah. Can you think of some of those, some of those early records? Because, that's the way I look at like those pivotal points, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like those early records.
Well, for me, it's like in a few chunks. So
Okay.
first was Louis Armstrong, listening to that jazz stuff. Then Oscar Peterson, kind of as I got into university. And then in university, I started listening to Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark, Steve Earle. And that was where songwriting started.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the final transition before I started performing. And then I started writing songs as a result. And it was definitely that, I still have a lot of reverence for those guys and their ability. And then everything else came out of that. My writing, what I listened to, and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So
When you started writing, like what age, give me a rough, what age were you when you started writing?
songs, like form songs, probably 18,
Okay.
19. Like I wasn't doing it. I was very much into kind of being in the brass band or whatever.
Mm.
And so around 19, and it started probably with blues
Yeah.
and like kind of liking this New Orleans piano stuff. And then you just write 12-bar blues songs.
Yeah.
And then in university, it started into actual songs as if, real stuff starts happening to you. So stuff these are right about.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything else is sort of trivia before that.
When I first heard you, the big thing, it was funny because I was like, this guy's voice, just for me, reminds me of Jeff Healey in the sense that like soulful, the way you do runs and things like that, it really reminded me of that. And then obviously there's the New Orleans jazz influence. Now the one thing I really wanted to ask you with radio, you were playing that. Well, you're not the cookie cutter, man. You do what you do and you do it really well. What, has there ever been something where you had that, listen to that side of the industry and like, was there ever a turning point, or have you just always done your own thing and in that?
Yeah, I guess I've sort of always done my own thing. Yeah. I mean, I've been lucky. A lot of doors have opened for me because of my dad and his standing in the music industry. So it has awarded me the ability to do my own thing and still kind of get to a baseline of success, or at least people will give you a shot.
Of course.
Which is the hardest thing, getting your foot in the door is the largest barrier.
Yeah.
And so I think I've been able to do that, and mostly because of that. Otherwise, I guess I don't know what it would have been like.
Yeah.
But I recognize that was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to do my own thing and kind of stay true to myself as an artist.
Yeah.
And my music has moved more into kind of rock stuff, but mostly on my own accord, based on what I'm listening to and what I'm writing as a result of that.
Yeah, like I definitely noticed a shift between like Kitchen Knife, which you were just releasing when I opened for you,
Mm-hmm.
to now.
Yeah.
And, and exploring that. And it's lovely to see all those progressions in artists.
Yeah, it's fun. I just hope that people that like our music still do
And, well,
when you
man,
change.
We love it here,
Yeah,
and
great.
hope to have you back for a gig sometime.
Thanks. It was great. Beautiful place.
Beautiful, buddy.
Thanks, Jake. Likewise.
There you go, Dev.